So good morning. It's Wednesday. So this will be the Wednesday submission. I'm a little bit tormented just recently about these pressing things that I have to do. I have a trip planned to visit my mother. I'm planning a trip to visit my mother. And I realized that my permanent resident card, which allows me free access back into Canada, will expire before I return from my trip, which would mean that I would be returning on a visitor's visa, which is not a very good thing to do. Now, I'm not sure if I can renew it in time before I plan to go away, but my wife is bugging me about booking the flights. So, hence my dilemma. I am a very bad procrastinator when it comes for form filling. I absolutely hate filling up forms. Anything to do with bureaucracy gives me a belly ache. So, after having spent an entire day trying to do this for myself, only to realize that when I changed screens on my computer, I had lost all the Mickey Mouse data that I had been entering. I gave up and went for a run. But I was still not calm in my mind till I got home and mentioned my dilemma to Norma. Now, she, for some reason, refuses to help me with this. I'm not sure what I did to deserve it, but she will not really help me with these projects. So I have tried to inspire my son, who is 28 years old and basically between jobs. I have offered him cash reward for helping me with this job. Anyway, we'll see what comes of that. I emailed him yesterday with my job proposal for him. I'm pretty sure he will take the initiative. So we'll see. I will keep you posted. Hello. Just coming up on my first kilometer split. I'm planning to run about, let's think, about 16 kilometers, about 10 miles today. So it's just coming up on 10 o'clock, and I have run my first kilometer in around 7 minutes. I had to change apps the other day. My iSmooth Run was not cooperating, so I'm now using Map My Run. So we'll see how that works. Map My Run has a few advantages over the iSmooth Run app. It has the option of the time of day, which is surprisingly useful. I know I could look at my watch, but it gives you my data, or it gives me my data on the kilometer, and it also tells me what the actual time is of day. So if I'm meeting Derek, I know how far I have run. I know roughly how much further I have to go, and I know what time I'm supposed to be there. Yet another permutation on the mental arithmetic game that I play. They've been spraying pesticide in Mount Douglas Park, which is a little bit alarming. They're trying to get rid of some invasive species, but apparently, according to their little poster, it says that they're applying pesticide topically. They're actually putting it on the plants that they want to eradicate. So they're not just blanket spraying the whole area, which is good to know. But I won't be foraging off course or off my designated trails too much. So I'm just coming up on the tree graveyard. I should be taking it at a more leisurely pace today, probably around 6:40 to 7-minute kilometers. Yesterday, because of my mental torment and the fact that I was running on an empty stomach, I, for some reason, hit it hard. Probably just an aggressive response to the angst of form filling. Anyway, I have to try and learn to relax a little more and not stress. Hopefully when I get back, my younger son, Zarin, would have woken up, read the email, and decided that $150 is worth helping his old man to get over his little problem. I know he doesn't have very much money, so that could be just the incentive that he needs. I'm going to pause the recording every time I hit some of the noisier sections of this run, but there are enough quiet sections to add up to a 48-minute show, I'm sure. So I've run 2 kilometers now. I'm on Mount Douglas Creek Trail, running towards my first drink break at the washrooms of Mount Douglas Park. Cars are off to my left, a couple of 100 meters to my left. This morning I heard Dirt Dog and his running diatribe. He's really getting into yoga. Hello. Hi. And it sounds like he is trying to inspire his students to get involved with some mental training. Alright. Just running up on the washroom now. You've heard me drink too many times from this tap, so I will spare you the details. So I've just turned off Royal Oak Drive and I'm now running through the parking lot of Lochside Elementary School. I'm going to be running the Lochside Trail to Quadra, where I used to meet with Derek. I've just done 5 kilometers. It's 10:23 right now, and I'm just about to run past the hippie house, which has been dismantled. All the artwork that was all over his yard has been removed. There was a sign saying that he is giving away his washer and his dryer. So I don't know whether the planning people are deciding to pull down his house, but he is moving out. He's been there for 15 years, to my knowledge. He used to play music to the public on the Lochside Trail. I wonder how many tourists have run past his strange property. Hello. Hi. This is now the rail trail that Graham and I run on every Monday. I either run from his house, which means that we have to start and finish on the top of a hill. But when we get down to the Lochside Trail, it's nice and flat. Getting back to my friend Mike, he is running the Detroit Free Press Marathon this coming weekend. I think it's the 18th. I also noticed that our friend Chris is running the Groton Trail Race in Massachusetts So I'm back on gravel here. This is where I should be able to keep up a pretty steady pace. Today's run will be probably mostly flat. Lochside leads to the Bottle Bank. Then I cross Quadra Avenue, and the continuation will take me onto the Galloping Goose Trail. And at Darwin, I will turn up Tattersall Drive to the golf course. I'm slightly overdressed today because I'm planning to end my run at the University Heights shopping centre, where I can withdraw some cash to give to Zaran for his help. I've asked him to help me fill in the form for the residence card. That is the issue. I am not a Canadian citizen, which means that I'm not eligible to vote in the election, which is coming up in a few days. Robbie, on the other hand, is a Canadian of East Indian origin, but he did his Canadian citizenship exam and got his passport. On the other hand, his wife is still traveling on an Indian passport. Yesterday was Armand's cross-country race. I recorded a fair amount of audio, which I might listen to today and possibly put together some sound bites for the weekend show. I'm not sure yet. I just had my phone recording everything that was going on around me. There are some good little bits that I could salvage, probably 10 minutes or more. Could be a bonus show, I guess. Hello.
Morning.
I'm going to see a lot more cyclists along here. Cyclists love rail trails. I'm up to 6k now. 6.24 per k. It's just coming up on 10:30. I'm listening to my 4-hour fix of Grateful Dead music. Hi. Back onto the road again. The pavement, I should say. So Armand finished around the maybe 65th place overall out of probably 100 4th and 5th graders. It was amazing to see the start. They had a whole line of pylons, little cones in the grass, probably 50 meters in length, and they had all the little kids lined up there in their school groups. It's a little bit disappointed that they didn't keep better track of the kids and their running. They didn't have numbers, so it was up to the gym teachers of each school to try and keep track of the finishing order. I think Armand did pretty well in his group from his school, but there were way more boys running than girls. The first race was the all-girls race, grade 4s. I think they were grade 3 or 4. And then the mass start of the boys. And then they had an older girls race. There were some pretty stellar athletes there yesterday. You could see them, their faces all red, determined. Hello. It's not often you see little kids pushing themselves to the limit. I think one of the reasons is that they don't really have any peers that can help them with this training unless their parents are particularly good athletes. They will not be able to pace their kids. Given a few more weeks of training, I'm sure Armand would have been able to run the entire way. I think he stopped 2 or 3 times. He said for about 30 seconds, which is good, but some of the kids, I'm sure, just ran the whole way. I think, if nothing else, the recording will be a way for me to tell Armand how he did, because as I say, I caught the start and it was recording the whole time he was running, and I saw him finish, so that will all be documented on my recorder. Probably a better course of action would be for me to start training with Robbie again, so that when I wasn't available to run with Armand, he could. The race was shorter than we thought, but he still managed to hit the wall a few times. I think that's probably just the excitement of running with his buddies. I'm coming up on the Blenkinsop trestle. This is the trestle that has the bronze statue of Farmer Roy. After the bridge, I will take another drink. I'm up to 6.20 per kilometer. You will hear my foot strike change when I hit the wooden planking of the bridge. I got the geese doing their practice flights on geese are flying around in a circle. I'm now over the middle of the lake. So we've had our Thanksgiving. That was last weekend. Hello, Farmer Roy. Yep. Your Thanksgiving in the States is around the end of November, I believe. I know that's when Halloween is. Halloween is when I ran my 200-mile races in Arizona. The second one was my best time for 100 miles. Just a little over 24 hours. And off. I get so used to saying on and off. For Graham, he has to know when the surface is going to change. So until I get onto the other side of the Lochside Galloping Goose Rail Trail, I will pause this because I'm closing in on a drink break and some traffic noise. So I crossed Quadra Avenue. I'm now on the Saanich Spur, which connects the Lochside Trail with the Galloping Goose Trail. This is the section that Derek and I run a lot. We're just coming up on the Swan Lake Trestle Bridge. Getting back to Mike Croy and his marathon, he's been training exclusively with the Maffetone program, which is based on heart rate zones. I believe he's planning to run the race itself on the same plan. He would be wise to stick to his training. Hi. I'm sure that because it is designed for somebody to run as well as they can using the heart rate method, that there should be a set heart rate zone that he will have to stay in for the race. But he was talking about, for the long run, he was doing 15 minutes of walking, followed by 55 minutes of zone training. Well, I wish him luck with that. I'm thinking it's going to be 4.5 hours for a finish time. He wasn't prepared to extrapolate. I guess it's as much of an experiment for him as anybody else trying to follow a training plan. I think most people do better if they stick to a plan. Alright. Sandwich Road crossing. Thank you. I'll be coming up on Darwin Avenue pretty soon, and I'll be turning left and climbing uphill towards the golf course. The last section of this recording will be on the chip trail. I was just thinking, I've done this trail about 3 or 4 times this week already, either on my bike or running. So I'm getting to recognize all the people who use it on a regular basis. Half of the leaves have already fallen. You can hear them underfoot. The crisp sound of brown maple leaves. Swan Lake is to my right. They just repaired the old floating pontoon that they had for the bird watchers. Hello. Getting back to the election. 2, if not 3, of the parties are running on a platform of either decriminalizing or legalizing marijuana. I guess that's no big surprise. But it's interesting to know that they don't think it'll harm their result. Well, there must be at least 55% feeling of either tolerance or indifference. Very little major ideological opposition. I've just done 10 kilometers, 6:10 per K. I paused for a little while there because there was a fair amount of yard noise. Not sure what it was. Some kind of pump. Maybe a pressure washer. That kind of thing. Alright, so Darwin Road. This is where the municipal hall is. This is where the bike fixing rack is. And this is where the police station is, where Derek used to do duty cleaning out the police cars. Alright, I will get back to you when I'm on the chip trail of the golf course. So you can probably hear that I'm now on the chip trail of the Cedar Hill Golf Course. They've introduced golf for soccer players here. Kick golf, I guess it would be called. Same principle as real golf, but you just kick the ball down the fairway and then you tap it into the goal which is a car tire sized bucket in the ground with a flag. I'm not exactly sure how they segregate the kick golf from the stick golf, because from the little video that I watched, it seems to be they're playing on exactly the same course. Just heading towards the James Heights viewpoint. Just running past a woman with a dog. Hello.
Hi.
I love this trip, especially after 12 kilometers of running. It's so soft on the feet. Feels great. It's like running on a shag pile carpet. You really could run this one barefoot. Even the chip is well worn. There's no splinters here. It's more like sawdust. And down. $13K. 620 per kilometer, which is a little fast, considering I have hiked some of the steeper sections. I guess the theory behind it is that, hello, if your heart is happy, then the running sections will be a little faster. If your heart is stressed, you probably have to back off a little on the running sections. And down again. Hi. Yep, I can see the $1 million view. There's a few duffers playing regular golf here. Gotta be a little careful on this downhill. It is pretty steep. All right. So I'm at the south end of the golf course, swinging around to the left. And pretty soon I'll be heading up. You can probably hear the little fountain here and the water trap. Hazard, I think they call it a water hazard. Okay, so this is probably my last walk section on the golf course. Just heading up level with the clubhouse. I will run to the drinking fountain at the clubhouse and take my last drink before the last 4K to the supermarket. This will probably go down as my longest shopping run. Hello. Yeah, 10-mile detour to get money from the bank. Running into a nice breeze here. Hopefully my wind filter is doing a fairly good job. Hi. Hi. There was a guy in a power chair. He looked pretty comfortable, even though his hands and his head were kind of droopy. He could well have had MS or ALS, one of those debilitating neurological diseases that eventually takes out all the nervous system. Firstly, they no longer can walk or wait there. Then they have to be fed. Then eventually the diaphragm gives up, and then they need to be on a respirator to breathe. I've had clients like that. Alright, the clubhouse. Okay, the last section for home. Well, not for home, but for the bank. So I've just heard the 15-kilometer reminder. So one more to go for 10 miles. So this one will be slightly more than 10 miles. Because I have about 2.5K to go. I'll be finishing off at the library and Fairways. Then I will walk across the street to the bank. I'm not sure if I'm gonna run home or walk home. Depends if I have any groceries to buy. I don't think so. Yeah, last time I did this run, I took a slightly different route and went north on the golf course, which took me over the top of the golf course rather than around the bottom and back up to the top. That's probably where I gained the extra 1.5 kilometers. Alright, so while it's nice and quiet here, I will say goodbye to you all until the weekend. This is the Running Jackal on the golf course. Hi. Finishing off 10-mile run. Bye-bye.